How's it going, everyone? And my oh my, these game developers and more so these publishers gotta be stopped. Look, 2023 was already crazy, and it drained the wallets and the hearts and the minds of gamers all around the world with so many damn game releases. It's been a great year, don't get me wrong, with your Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Resident Evil 4 remake. Just a little while ago, we had Alan Wake 2, we had Spider-Man 2, AC Mirage, so on and so forth, Lords of the Fallen, I can go on and on. There's just been so many major releases, Final Fantasy 16, and you would think that there would be a little bit of time for reprieve in 2024. Take that thought and throw it out the damn window, because that ain't happening, because 2024, this early period of 2024, is looking to be one of the craziest periods of gaming that I have seen in my life. First of all, we got the damn near confirmation of another major title that's gonna come out within the first 3 months of the year, and a rumor of a game that's long been delayed, potentially finally coming out in February, and I gotta say, Ubisoft, I do not think this is a good idea. If you want to send out a damn game to slaughter, this is what you do. A new IP like Skull and Bones, you send that game out to February to get absolutely massacred, absolutely slaughtered, because it is not going to be able to fare against the competition. I thought it was a bad idea releasing Suicide Squad in February. You want to release Skull and Bones in February as well? That sounds like the most ridiculous idea ever, but we'll talk about that as well. But first of all, Dragon's Dogma 2 is gonna have its presentation later today, 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern, and the Steam page is already updated with a March 21st, 2024 release date. This is so much quicker than I had thought Dragon's Dogma 2 was gonna get released, and credit to Capcom, you know, they reveal their games, and outside of some nonsense like Pragmata, they do a pretty good job of revealing their games and following up with a release quickly thereafter. It's usually a year at most, maybe a little bit longer than that for the majority of these games to get revealed and then ultimately see their release. In an era that we live in, where games like your Wolverines of the world are being revealed 4 or 5 years before release, and then you've got games like KOTOR being revealed for a remake and then just going to the wayside, potentially canceled, etc., etc. It's really nice that Capcom, outside of, you know, Pragmata, they reveal their games and they come out quickly thereafter. That's something I want to see more of in gaming in general. I get it, sometimes we got to reveal these games, get interest in it, get people to apply for jobs, etc., etc., but Dragon's Dogma 2 is looking to come out in March of 2024, specifically March 21st. This is really the first major game that we have been seeing dated for March. That is from my recollection, but this is a huge one, man, and I think Dragon's Dogma is going to do really well. Dragon's Dogma 2, that is. If you go back to 2012 when Dragon's Dogma 1 came out, that game actually underperformed commercially, but I think you're dealing with a totally different landscape in gaming as a whole. 12 years later, Dragon's Dogma has followed and developed this kind of cult following that there's a reason why Capcom decided to create a big budget sequel to a game like Dragon's Dogma. Even if the first game did potentially underperform commercially, Dragon's Dogma 2, the buzz, the hype around it is going to be astronomical. The fact is, it's got so many things working for it. The first game developing this cult following. Capcom as a publisher and a developer is revered in gaming today these days. The perception of Capcom, go back 7-8 years ago, it has totally shifted, and Capcom is beloved in the gaming world today. Sure, you'll have your blunders like Exo Primal, but you'll get your Street Fighter 6s, you'll get your Resident Evil 4s, Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection. I gotta throw Mega Man some love every time I talk about Capcom, but their perception has totally changed, and I think gaming as a whole has kind of evolved, where there is so much discussion on social media, comparatively speaking to 2012 when Dragon's Dogma was this niche release. That's 3 huge elements that's gonna propel Dragon's Dogma 2 to do much better this time around versus Dragon's Dogma 1. I think if this game is good, it's gonna crush it from a commercial standpoint, unlike the first one, and I think it's gonna sell millions and millions, and man, again, Capcom, their portfolio of games is really unmatched right now. Like, a lot of the times you would see Sony as a publisher being the elite publisher in all of gaming, but really, I feel like they've been dethroned by Capcom. Think about this. In a 12-month span, Capcom would have put out Resident Evil 4 Remake, Street Fighter 6, and Dragon's Dogma 2. What other publisher can compare as far as having a trio of elite-level releases like that? Dragon's Dogma 2 remains to be seen if it'll be an elite-level release, but that's within a year, and again, that's not including stuff like Battle Network Legacy Collection, Exo Primal, even if that game turned out to be kind of mid. There's definitely some other stuff that Capcom released throughout the year. Now, they are a big publisher, but still, Capcom from 7-8 years ago, man, how they have evolved and how they have gone back into the good graces of the consumer. Obviously, there's things I would love to see them do. you know, bring back some of their older IPs like an Okami and Onimusha, give Mega Man some more love outside of just retro collections, but really what they're doing right now, can I really complain? I really can. So Dragon's Dogma 2 looking to be March 21st. Alright, here's an exclusive from Tom Henderson, and this is something I can't get as excited about. Skull and Bones release date is February of 2024. Following 6 delays, Insider Gaming has learned that Skull and Bones has finally gotten a release date of February 16, 2024. Insider Gaming notes of 2023, believe that's a typo. The information follows an official announcement from Ubisoft in October that the game has a release window set for Q4 fiscal year 23 to 24. Last week, Darrell Long, who will be moving to Toronto to become managing director, confirmed that the game will ship before the end of the fiscal year. I am so skeptical about how this game is going to turn out. You're talking about February 16th, which, to be fair, that middle window of February isn't stacked with game releases yet. It's really the early portion and the end. And you've got FF7 Rebirth beginning. You've got Suicide Squad, Persona 3 Reload, and Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. That middle portion is kind of empty, but still, dollars are going to be limited. By the way, Suicide Squad is also coming out in February. As down as I am on that game, that's still a major release, and I would say bigger than Skull and Bones. I feel really bad for Don't Nod Entertainment, who are doing Banisher's Ghost of New Eden, who they had delayed the game because of the stacked lineup of games coming out in October and November. Bro, you delayed your games into it getting slaughtered as well. Like, Banisher's Ghost of New Eden, I'm sorry, delay that game into the summer if that's the reason you care about it. I understand that potentially delaying games over and over again just to avoid competition isn't something that is sustainable, but the summer is always dead. You look at, you know, that July period, that would be perfect time for a game like that to come out, but I feel like if it does end up dropping in February, being sent out to slaughter, Skull and Bones, a new IP from Ubisoft, being sent out to slaughter, like, I cannot expect these games to do well. Dragon's Dogma 2 is coming out in March, and that's gonna be big. There's games that, no matter the competition, are gonna do well. FF7 Rebirth, it don't matter what competition is around that. For a game like Skull and Bones, a brand new IP, Ubisoft not having everybody in their good graces these days, like, some people love the Ubisoft games, other people not so much, but it's a new IP from them, and again, if it does drop in February of 24, absolutely being sent out to slaughter. Banisher's Ghost of New Eden being sent out to slaughter. Those are two titles that I really think it would be advantageous for both of those publishers, and I don't believe if Banishers is being published by Don't Nod, it might be being published by Focus Entertainment. I gotta, you know, do a refresher on that. But Skull and Bones, like Ubisoft, you gotta release Skull and Bones in February. You already delayed the game like 7 times or 6 times. You could delay the game a little bit longer, but again, the idea of constantly delaying these games just to hit no competition, that is a little bit of a defeatist mindset that, you know, you can have the thought process, hey, if a game's good, it's gonna do well, but like, yo, new IP in this kind of environment, it was one thing with Immortals of Avam. Like, in my opinion, Immortals of Avam wouldn't have done well with that $70 price tag at any period of the year. And the fact is, Immortals of Avam came out in August, prior to the major games coming out. That was the thing. It came out prior to the major games coming out. You're talking about a game like Skull and Bones and Banisher's Ghost of New Eden. They're both sandwiched by a tidal wave, a tsunami of games coming out that is not going to turn out well for these games. I can tell you that right now, and I get it that Ubisoft is more of the mindset, hey, we'll release the game, we'll discount it, we'll get people to buy it, hopefully they'll delve into the microtransactions, the DLC, and all that nonsense, but yeah, I just can't imagine this is a good idea, and I think most of you guys are gonna agree with me. Like, unless you're like completely vehemently against Japanese games, because the early portion of 2024, man, is Japan shown out in early 2024 with Like a Dragon Gaiden, Tekken 8, Persona 3 Reload, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Dragon's Dogma 2, like, I can go on and on. It is a Japan showcase as far as early 24 goes. If for some odd reason you vehemently hate all of those aforementioned games and there's no way you're gonna play any of them, alright bro, maybe Skull and Bones will be the game for you, but like, I find that a little bit hard to believe. I'm just saying. But yeah, don't think this is a good idea, and I think that goes without saying. But at some point, they do just gotta release this game, and if it flops, it flops. And it is what it is. But that'll do it for me. Again, Dragon's Dogma 2 looking likely for March 21st. Insane what we're seeing in early 24. I would say early 24 from a personal standpoint, way more excited than fall of 23. And I was excited for fall of 23 with all these big games coming out, but you guys know Japanese games are my forte, and you look at that lineup, absolutely ridiculous. And then Skull and Bones, again, I think this game is being sent out to slaughter. I think Banisher's Ghost of New Eden is being sent out to slaughter. Banisher's Ghost of New Eden, I really don't think they had foreseen that the lineup was gonna be as crazy as it was. You could kind of tell it was gonna be crazy in February, but not this insane. So there you go with that as well. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.